We're losing!
Teamwork, guys. More teamwork.
They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez Louise.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're gonna be winners.
Listen, I ain't got nothing left inside her, because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 144, the Bad Fodder Figures podcast. Just me and Matt tonight. Eric is... We don't know where Eric is. He told us he couldn't make it. I'm not sure if he's having a nice romantic candlelight evening with his lovely wife, or if he's on the streets of D.C. cleaning up the shit that's going on there. But Eric is not with us tonight. We will play a voicemail from him in just a few moments. And look at that, Matt hitting us right away with a subscription. What a way to kick it off. Good evening, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
You're just doing okay.
Well, I got in a little trouble earlier today.
You did? For what type of trouble?
Something that I did not do.
Ooh, that's my favorite type of trouble.
Well, apparently last night, Barb had a dream. And in her dream, I was snuggling up with the neighbor's son's wife on the couch. And I got in trouble for that action, for something that I actually did not do in real life. But, you know, in her dream, yeah, I got in trouble for that. She came down. She came downstairs while I was playing Cyberpunk and said, "You're in trouble." What'd I do? And, you know, she proceeded to say why. Now, of course, she was laughing and, you know, joking around about it. But I was like, holy shit. It's like, God damn it, man. I just... Amazing. But, hey, what do I know?
It's a hell of a thing. Hopefully that leads to... Hype train, motherfucker. Hopefully that leads to some kinky romance later. Sorry, Carol.
Well, shit.
Hopefully that leads to some, you know, something later on, you know.
I hope not.
No.
Well, I mean, I kind of do, but I don't know. You know, we'll see.
Look at that, Matt rolling out the gifts. Papa Bibbs, glove box, Sword Saint 24, and the Elusive Man.
Look at
Shit's
that.
just popping off.
Hey, you know.
So
Give 'em
here
all.
we are, episode 144.
It's a season of giving.
It is.
Yes.
It is. That's going to play all those now, isn't it?
We're going to hear that 5 times.
I'm going to mute it. I'm going to mute it just for now so I don't have to keep listening to it. No. It's still playing it. Did you hear that too?
Thank God I didn't do 25 gifts.
Right? We'd be here all night. I'm not sure if they can still hear it on the stream. I felt like I muted it, but we were hearing it. And Hale gifted a tier 1 sub to Team Chaos Theory. Fuck the podcast tonight. We're just thanking people left and right.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Free games this week on the Epic Game Store is Tyranny. Never heard of it, but it's in I think it's an action RPG or an RPG, and Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition. Those are the 2 free games this week on the Epic Game Store. So check them out. Lots to get to this week. We're going to dive into Cyberpunk here in just a few minutes, as well as our Destiny 2 Next Gen update impressions too. We figure we didn't play the voicemails from last week, so we're going to play them here in the beginning. Glovebox has some stuff that's going to lead us into the news as well. Again, for people just joining, Eric can't make it tonight, although he's looks like maybe he's in stream or just lurking, as the kids will say.
Yeah.
This first voicemail we're going to play right off the bat is Dub F. He wants to talk about a candy I've never heard of before, and then he's got a football question for us guys. So let's hear from Dub F right off the bat.
What's shaking and bacon, gamers? What's going on? Yeah, here we are, December, and it's a little chilly outside. Yeah, a little nip in the air there. Ha. Hey, Mike, I see you said you had some bad weather, and I was, scrolling through the internet, and actually came up and said that you guys up there were either getting pounded with rain or snow, so hopefully, since you're that winter lover and you like to build those snowmen, and it wasn't raining, it was snow for you, huh? Yeah, you could have that snow. Enjoy it. Because I hate it. But that's you, though, because you said you like winter and I like summer, and I don't get any snow in the summer, so I like summer. Yeah, but anyway, okay, enough of that. Now, you know what I'm eating right now? I'm eating a Mallow Cup. Yeah, huh? Remember those things? Mallow Cups? And they're still packing those cardboard things inside. It says, once you get 500 points, you can get $2 back. My gosh. I got a whole 15 points. I'm on my way to a redemption of a refund.
It's a lot more
You know
candy.
what? I'm not greedy. So here's the thing. You let me know, guys. If you guys want to run a contest, I will gladly donate my 15 Mellow Cup points to your contest. Then we can have a winner chicken dinner. Yeah. I'll do it because I'm nice like that. Yeah, I'm really nice. Anyway. All right, let's keep it light this week. I do have a serious question for Mike. If Matt and Eric, if you're on, if they want to jump in, that's fine. But here's my question. All right, let's pretend it's the last NFL game of the season. All right, and let's just say New England had a good run, but let's say they're not going to make the playoffs. Okay, you're just playing out the last game for what it is. But your last game opponent is the Buccaneers with Tommy Brady now, and the Buccaneers need to win it to get into playoffs. So here's my question, Mike. Are you going die hard New England and screw Tommy? Or are you saying, you know what? Hey, Tommy did us a lot of good. New England has nothing to gain, so I'm rooting for the old Tommy boy. Just curious, buddy. Just curious to see where you're at there. Serious question. I'm serious to see where you're at. I'm wondering. Let me know. That's all I got, guys. Stay warm. Stay dry. Don't shovel too much, Mike, if that's what you're doing. And see you next week. Arrivederci.
All right, thanks, Dub F. So he's alluding. He left that voicemail last week. We did have a snowstorm last Saturday. I don't think I've mentioned this to you, Matt. We got a new snowplow guy this year for the driveway, and he hit my door. He hit my garage door and punctured it.
Ooh. Well, I know where he would go.
Very nice guy. He says it was. He got a new blade this year, and it's one of those ones that, like, it's not a straight. It's like can do like, operational type things with it. And he says he's just getting used to it. So he hit the door, one of the garage doors, and there's a little puncture in it. So he's got to replace that and fix that up for us. So I don't know. This has been
that's
V-wing.
Tough there.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough there.
Yeah.
Were you kind of heated there, Mike?
No, not really. I mean, I was disappointed. I think I would have been more heated if he said, "Well, how do you know I did it?" You know what I mean? He owned up to it.
Oh,
you know what I mean, and said, "Nope."
Yeah.
He'll get it taken care of. But yeah, he says he's getting used to the V-wing, which is different than what he had before. So hopefully it can get repaired. It's the type of garage that I think it's just a section that needs to be placed. It's not like a whole door, and it's just like it didn't damage the steel behind it. It looks like the part that's out front is some sort of metal with foam underneath it.
Yeah, it's insulated garage door.
Yes. Yeah. So he, I think they can just pop that out. Hopefully they can get the, match it all up and shit like that. That's the.
They should be able to. Yeah, he should be able to get you all fixed up and take, like I said, just take that one panel out, replace it. You're beyond your way.
Yeah. But we've had some bad storms here lately. Heavy wet snow and wind and shit like that. A lot of tree damage. So it's getting back to WF talking about the weather. I do like snow, but I like it when it's light and fluffy and it's just nice to look at, like a Christmas card. When it's heavy and wet, and some of the trees around here are taking a beating. But
just like your women, light and fluffy instead of heavy and wet.
I have to think about that. I have to. That's another show. That's another podcast. His football question. Well, first of all, my initial gut reaction is like, fuck Tom Brady. He said some shit this week about how he would never live in the Northeast again. But I am more of a Tom Brady fan than I am of a Mahomes fan. So I would like to see Brady get another championship because I think Mahomes is probably the only talent that I can see that could challenge Brady for the number of Super Bowls. So Brady's got 6. Mahomes has got 1. Looks like he's maybe well on his way to getting number 2. So I wouldn't be openly rooting for Brady, but I would not be upset. It would be a better draft pick for the Patriots. But I would like to see Brady get another championship or 2 before he retires, just to have that extra cushion for his legacy. Even though like I said before, I'm not the biggest Tom Brady post 2004 Tom Brady fan. Something happened to him from 2005 on. I don't know. So,
I would like to see him win another championship with another team, just so he can prove that he can do it without New England and Belichick.
Yeah. That's a good question. I'd like to see it. It's not going to happen. Obviously, they don't play each other at the end of this year. But rough day. What happened? Dalton lighted up today on the Bengals. The Red
Speaking
Rocket?
of that same situation there, yeah. Old Andy Dalton and the Dallas Cowboys came in to Cincinnati and whooped them up pretty goddamn good, man. So,
yeah,
that's great for them. Great for him.
Let's cut to the chase, though, Matt. When did the back corner of your basement turn into a strip joint? What's going on back there? There's red lights and the stuff going up in the ceiling like we're at a discotheque. What's going on over there?
Yeah. So yeah, you can see actually. Yeah. So the light, it's a rave down here. It's a rave. Yeah. There's gonna be ounce with light bars. Yeah. The red lights, those are my hue lights. One's red, one's green, which you can't tell because you only see the red one. But the lights on the ceiling, I got those laser lights on the outside of the house there that, light up the house for
snow
Christmas.
Shower?
Yeah, well, it's not a snow shower. It's like these red and green dots that they spread all over the house and light the house up and shit like that.
No.
And then I got my palm tree. I got Christmas lights around my palm tree right here for Christmas time and all that. And,
do you save those for Easter later?
actually, I'll probably just keep those in there.
No, the palm.
I like those lights there.
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday. Yeah. I'll take the old ones and I'll burn them. Make the ashes so I can give myself ashes, and then put new palms in there on Easter Sunday.
I like the little Ernie you got there next to you.
Yeah, it's Ernie, Pip-Boy, little Christmas tree that lights up, and some other figures that fell down. Barb bought me this big bag of cotton, so I got a little snow scene. I put snow in the bottom of the plant there, and I got snow there. Something when I'm in meetings at work, people to look at and enjoy and do stuff. And I got a candle lit back there. I got a candle up on top of the safe there, lit, and nice flavors in the air.
Yeah, you are shitting in the high cotton, huh?
I am in the high cotton, bud. Mm-hmm.
All right. Eric wants to talk about the Game Awards, maybe some Cyberpunk stuff. So we're going to hear from him, and then we're going to get right into our Cyberpunk discussion. So here we go.
Leeway.
What is up, everybody? This your boy Glovebox. Hey, listen, I'm sorry I couldn't be on the show today. I got to save the world. But anyway, I wanted to talk about some things in gaming, that just recently happened. I want to talk about the Video Game Awards. I was a little disappointed with the Video Game Awards, but I was happy that The Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year. I'm really happy about that. My disappointment came when I was looking for a little bit more stuff from Microsoft. All right. But that's all right. We got some good games coming down the pipe, and congratulations to the team over at Naughty Dog for The Last of Us 2. All right, now I also wanted to talk about some of the stuff that just came out. I was super excited about Cyberpunk, as well as I know you guys are too. But I gotta be honest, man. It's the hype was a little too high for me. You know, I'm playing the game only about 2-3 hours in right now, and it's okay, but it's not just like that stellar game that that I was looking for. The game was cool. I'm not saying that. It even looks good. I'm playing it on the Series X. It even looks good, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not deep enough into it yet, so I can't really give a full judgment yet. But like I said, I'm about 2-3 hours in, and it's just cool so far. All right. I don't know. We'll see how it goes along, but yeah, that's all I wanted to call in to say, guys. I'm being the police today, you know, so I wasn't able to get on the show, and I want to shout out Captain Mike and Matt, man, for they keep this boat moving in the water. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, and shout out to you guys in the chat. I can't see you right now. I know you guys are in there. I know you guys are commenting and everything, and that's cool. But rest assured, guys, I'll be back next week for sure. 100%. I'll be at work, but I'll be back on. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here, and y'all have the rest of a good show, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
All right. Thank you, Glovebox, and as always, we are a Glovebox Gaming subsidiary known as the Bad Fodder Figures. He's Matt. I'm Mike. That was Eric.
And I think we all know the truth that Eric is not working. He is working on his Glovebox Gaming, you know, empire, and swallowing up other little entities here on this night. I think that's what's really going on.
Now, you let your mind go here for a minute. You know, the Proud Boys are walking the streets of D.C. right now in bumblebee-type kilts. Could you picture Eric in a nice, you know, Eric's Glovebox Gaming is very similar to the Cincinnati Bearcats colors, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say that they are the same in the same?
Very similar. Very similar.
Could you picture Eric in a Glovebox Gaming kilt in those colors?
I would buy a Glovebox Gaming kilt.
For what? To reenact that dream from last night? She can bend you over and slap them buttocks.
Sorry, Carol.
I never got the whole fucking kilt thing.
I never understood it myself. More power to him. Whatever.
I never got into kilts.
Yeah.
I do have great looking legs though, but you know.
You have the kilt body.
Stop.
Especially with the beard and the hair. You put that kilt on, dude. You could rock a kilt.
I might like it. A lot of pockets.
There's
a lot of pockets in those Utila kilts, right?
A lot of airflow too, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of airflow. Yeah, your gymnies down there stay nice and cool.
Which would be, you know, I have extra airflow because I'm not one of those guys that wears, you know, like boxer briefs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go, this is a callback to the gamers and beta days. My grandfather liked to wear boxers because he said there was more dancing room down there. You know what I mean? And I subscribe to the same way. I need dancing room, and I don't want boxer briefs fucking making that shit all snug in there. You know, I need.
Well, what you got to worry about is that shit starting to sag down. Next thing you know, you're sitting on that shit. Yeah, you gotta be careful about that. You gotta be careful.
Tell me all along I should be wearing boxer briefs so to keep fucking prevent gravity.
From taking hold? You've seen old lady tits, haven't you? Don't tell me the same shit happens to your fucking balls, dude.
Hey, it's easy to get a fucking, you know, cock ring around your nuts that way. You know,
that's not gonna hold your nuts up. Yeah, it's gonna hold your cock ring. Your cock will be fine, but your balls are still gonna be, you know, like a fucking. Like you're gonna be looking like one of them trucks you see down the highway. It's got the fucking fake testicles on the back there.
So you're trying to tell me that boxer briefs are AKA bra for balls?
There is support there. There is support.
No one has ever told me that I should have boxer briefs to
Gravity's
support,
a hell of a thing, dude.
to support them for the long.
Gravity's
Now,
a
how
hell of
come-
a thing.
Now, how come bras don't have that effect on women? Like the longer they they take them
Some
off.
of them women, they don't wear the correct size or something. That, and plus the 70s came around and no one wore bras back in the 70s and shit, so they just let that shit hang. And
Do you think
bam.
if you had to do it over again, you'd be a bra salesman? Like if you were like, let's say like you were back in like the olden times, where people went and got like fittings and stuff like that. Would you have been that person? Would you have been like a tailor for the women?
I don't see back in the 40s and 50s many males being a bra salesman.
Oh, there they were.
Really?
I think so.
Here.
Women didn't
Come
work.
here, miss. Let me see. Let me see what you are here. Your husband told me to check you out.
Ladies, do not worry. This is a regular scheduled detour in our program. Yeah. What the fuck what are we talking about?
Some game came out this week or something.
How did we get on the topic of boxers and can't remember.
I got no fucking idea.
No idea either. But yes, he was talking about Cyberpunk. Yeah, Cyberpunk 20 old lady tits, Cyberpunk 2077 is out. Eric says he is just okay with it, that he's not, the hype exceeded the expectations. And I think that's a very fair, like, we don't want to give our overall impressions yet. We want to like sort of build up to that. But I think that's a very fair analysis. If you think about it, Matt, this game was announced when the 360 was out. Okay, this game was announced in 2012. So 8 years ago, the 360 and the PS3 were out then. That doesn't mean they started developing it for those systems. But you have to think that like some of the issues that people are running into, maybe not on the PC side of things, but console people, is because they're trying to please too many masters. They're trying to please too many consoles. And maybe at some point the development needed to switch to like, the higher end consoles. I'm just trying to think of like what would how do you have a game that starts development in 2013 and comes out 7 years later not perform as well as, let's say like The Last of Us, Last of Us 2, similar type time frame, maybe a year or two shorter, and that thing just ran beautifully. But maybe they only had to run it on two systems, the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, so a lot less shit to deal with. They don't have to worry about PC, they don't have to worry about Xboxes. But it does seem from a technical standpoint, maybe they bit off too many systems than they could handle.
Well, I think also, you take The Last of Us 2 as an example, the scope of the game. Last of Us 2 is a pretty
linear,
pretty linear game. One storyline for the most part. They don't
have to deal with all the NPCs and all the shit going on in a bustling world. Right?
Correct. Correct.
But let's sort of take it here from the top. Those are my like overall like the hype thing. I think like 8 years. I think, man, how many games have been in development for 8 years and came out and knocked it out of the park? There has to be less than a handful, and certainly this game I think can deliver that over time. But let's start from the top. You boot up the game and you're thrust into the character creator. What did you think of that? Standard, besides the dong, we'll get into the dong creation in a minute. But
pretty standard.
Were there enough options for you?
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised it wasn't more robust, the character creator. Pretty, had the standard hairstyles in it, colors and so forth and that, skin colors, all that. I'm surprised with like the body type. For both male and female, you couldn't make more decisions there as far as short, fat, muscular, that type of thing. It was just, okay, you're going to be male or female. Okay, you choose that. And then you go in, they had your options for eyebrows, eyes, the standard stuff. But I'm surprised it wasn't more robust. As far as actually taking, and making your cheeks bigger and, with your control sticks, how some of the things are, you're moving your eyes up and around and all that shit.
You got to think that's coming in an update where you can go to like a chop shop and change your look. I think they added that later on in The Witcher 3, that you could go in and edit your character. I don't think you can edit your hairstyles and stuff now, can you? Just your clothing?
Just your clothing with the stuff you find off the street and stuff that
Oh,
you
I think
buy.
there's stores that you can go to and buy too. I haven't been to any of them, but I think that's the type of stuff I have no problem with them adding later on. You know, I think that will come in some sort of update, whether that's the next gen update or like their big first 2.0 edition update. I think you'll get character editing later. I think get the game out, get it stable, get a majority of the people happy, and then we'll add that shit later on.
And I think there's a very valid thing. This is what Jeremy always used to say. Is like, I spent all this time creating my character to never see him again. It's a first-person game. Yeah,
you only see him in the car, or if you see him if you get on a motorcycle, and you're in third-person view, you get a better look, from the back. But the only other time you see him is when you go to your inventory, which is often. You go to the mirror. Let's talk about the mirror at the apartment. So eventually, the apartment is your home base.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When you go to the mirror, are you ever the same as you look?
I'm always bald.
I'm always
reason.
bald too. And one time I had no clothes on and I had a vagina. I tweeted that picture out on Twitter this week.
Yeah, every time I go to the mirror, I'm bald. I was like, where the fuck's my hair? I thought maybe because I had a hat on. So I took the hat off. Went back to the mirror. Nope. Still fucking bald as a fucking Telly Savalas.
I tweeted the picture out. I had a full head of hair, but I had a vagina. I don't know.
I was not naked. I was not naked in mine.
Yeah. So, everybody in chat can chime in as well who's playing the game. Is there a purpose for having what is the dong slider? What is the purpose there? Like, at some point, am I going to be able to romance people like I could in The Witcher? Does that come into play at all, or is that just them trying to be cover all their bases and make it authentic as possible? What is?
I'm not going to give much away, but yes, you there is some dong interaction with other characters if you do it right.
Really?
I mean I don't know about you, but I gave myself a big dong. I mean, who wouldn't? But the thing about that whole part of that is the subtle effects that they gave it when you're messing with it. When you're moving it just kind of wiggles and moves and shit as you're turning and doing stuff and switching sizes and everything. It just kind of whoop, there's
there I am naked with the vagina, and what happened to my clothes? Where'd they go?
Now you might be able to argue that you don't have the but they just don't have the mirror going down long enough.
I was able to angle it. I was able to angle. I couldn't take the picture that way. And I don't know if I had a vagina. I just had nothing down there. It was just like I was nothing. I was just a full-on droid. It was just there was nothing down there. It was no parts at all.
The look on your face. Is this what your wife sees before you go into bed? Yeah. I mean, is this what's happening
somehow?
When you're
Somehow I created a character between Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction and that beard guy. You know that guy that hawks all the beard products? That's he's this guy in his late 40s, early 50s. He's got the mousse out and he's combing his beard and all different combing techniques.
This is what Mike sees himself as he's getting into bed at night. This is how Mike sees himself right here.
Hey, we don't see your where's your fucking guy? Is your guy looking like you, or did you create something fucking off the wall?
I couldn't make a short, stubby, fat guy, so no, he doesn't look like me.
What type of haircut did you give yourself?
Kind of the shaved on the side with the hair kind of spiky type hair with shaved sides. I gave him a beard, brown hair, brown beard.
Did anybody try to create the guy that's on the cover of the game?
Yeah, I thought about that. I have not seen. I don't know if you can.
Because that guy's not he's not the default preset when you log in.
Right. Yeah. Did you go through any of the presets?
No, I didn't.
Some of them are pretty goddamn hilarious. Some were. I should have picked one of them just for a fun time. But
Matt, I think it's pretty clear that I didn't go through any of the presets. Look what I ended up there with.
Oh God!
Oh, did you see that burn? That burn.
That's a banning.
Yeah. So circle back. You're saying yes, that the dong size comes into play later, or not that the dong size, but you have a chance to have sex later at some point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Not that I've been there yet, but I've seen some stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, there is some shit that happens at some point in this game. This all comes into play.
So, what are your overall impressions of the optimization? How do you feel it's running on the X for you?
Optimization is a very broad thing to say because the game is janky. There are some glitches and shit that happens. As far as graphics, once I turned film grain off, motion blur off, the game looked increasingly better to me. So that was fine. I think it's graphics wise, I'm looking forward to the update that happens eventually at some point. You know, yeah, there's yeah. So there's shit like that I see, and I've posted a couple of things on Twitter, where there's a lady sweeping the floor and there's someone leaning down like that in between her legs. And it's like, what the hell is that from? So optimize, no, but it's running better than Noah's is on his PS4 Pro, and he got a big old update on his, and he says it's running better now on his than it was.
I do think I do think the first update or the updates that have come out, it's progressively gotten better.
Yeah,
right. When you say
graphically, I haven't seen anything better yet.
I think the visuals, the sun, the lighting, things look a little more. The more and more I play it visually, it's more and more impressive. So I think we're just going to have to wait and be patient on that type of shit. At least on the consoles. I'm sure what I is seeing on the PC, and I'm sure what people are seeing on Stadia is perfectly fine right now. But I think us console people are going to have to wait for these periodic updates, and then, of course, for the next-gen update.
Yeah. The game's definitely janky. There's a scene where I'm talking to Jackie, and he's eating one of them Chinese containers, and he's got chopsticks. Well, the chopsticks are just like sitting there, and he's still motioning with chopsticks in his hand while there's chopsticks in there. So it's like that. There's a guy eating a hamburger. He'd holding it. There'd be no hamburger. Put it to his mouth. The hamburger appears. Puts his hand down. The hamburger goes flying out. Then the hamburger flies back in. I put that on Twitter also. Yeah, there's this guy here who, feet in the ground.
Out in the streets with no feet.
Yep. There are some... Yeah, I put a couple of things on Twitter myself. Some funny things I've seen and saw. Like there. The game's janky. Okay? There's no doubt about that.
This is one thing that pisses me off. That's not janky from like a visual perspective, but it's causing me a lot of anxiety, and people are going to laugh and go, well, what do you fucking care? It's not like a real traffic jam. But
I saw this one. Yeah.
This gives me a lot of anxiety. Like, I am pulled way over to the side. Why aren't they going around? Why is this causing a huge traffic jam? There's got to be at least 10 to 15, 18 cars here piled up. I'm way over to the side in a motorcycle. Why is this happening? Why can't they go around me? Why are they sitting there beeping the horn? I go off to do my side quest. I come back out. They still haven't moved, and they're all beeping their horns.
Yeah, no, that's valid. But that is a nice looking picture, though.
I says, don't change that. I get my pick of cars to steal. True that. True. But it bothered. That's takes you out of the immersion, I think, a little bit, right? Keep it moving. Keep the line moving. I can understand if I stop my car in the middle of the road, but I'm way over to the side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think, the game looks good. The game looks good. I think it can look better, and I think it will look better compared to PC. On console, I think there's some updates that's happening. It's going to happen, but there's lots of glitches in the game. I had a problem earlier today where somehow text from what someone was saying was stuck on my screen for like a half hour. I finally had to quit the game and start it back up, and then it was gone. Okay, thank God that's gone.
I had an issue today where I thought I could change the text in the UI, but it was just the text for the subtitles. And once I changed them to like the highest they could be, the background no longer had like that like opacity behind it, so it was just like this text, and there was nothing behind the words, and it was like huge text, and it just looked so ugly that I switched it back and I went to reset defaults, and it fixed the size, but it never put the slight color behind the text, so now it looks terrible. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's issues. Yeah, and Iron Hell, getting the gameplay a little bit, but yeah, Iron Hell says that you have to look both ways before you cross the street. That is the fucking truth. Those motherfuckers will run you over if you walk in the street, man. They will hit you. They will not stop, and you will die. So be careful.
I haven't experienced that yet. I have not.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Look before you cross the street, man. Just like you learned growing up. Look both ways, twice.
Maniac says he's on the first mission and it already shut off his console. Let's talk about that. This is, we're still talking about technical optimization stuff. So far, I have not experienced a complete console power off. I have had one crash to the dashboard. I've had a few mini lockups that resolved themselves, like maybe like 10 or 15 second like lockups, and then they unpaused themselves, and I was able to carry on. But so far, just one that has completely crashed the game to the dashboard. Anything like that for you?
I have not experienced any game breaking bugs or game breaking glitches, except for the audio. I complained about this on Discord and on Twitter, and that the audio, I cannot hear my own character when I'm using my regular speakers. Okay. But when I put the headset on, or even when I put earbuds into the controller, I hear him perfectly fine, just like I hear everyone else. So there's something with my speaker setup or something where it's like, holy moly.
Did you change this? Did you change the preset in the settings?
I did. I tried. I did a bunch of. I did every one. Some made it worse. Some made it a little bit better, but still not. And I was only getting half the conversation. I was like, holy fuck. And I hate doing closed captioning on the screen because it's distracting for me when it's popping up, because I'm paying more attention to that than I am to what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm better at actually listening to the voices. So I was like, fuck. So that was I was really pissed about that. When I found out I could plug in my earbuds or use the TV or my headset, that it works fine. So that's an issue on my end.
And that doesn't happen for you on any other games, though.
No other game have I ever had sound issues like that. No other game. That's the only thing. But besides that, no game breaking bugs for me. It hasn't shut my X down. It still does not get that hot. I today after playing, I put my hand. It was warm. It wasn't hot. No story breaking missions or anything yet so far. So I count myself lucky there. Yeah. What about you? Any issues like that, Mike?
Nope. The only thing, I just had one crash to the dashboard, but nothing breaking, the story or losing any progress or audio issues. I do know that the audio, I feel like the person that you're talking to is slightly louder than you, and I don't know if that's ideal. Like I haven't gone back and played other games and said, is that the norm in the industry, that the person who's talking to you should be louder than your own character? But when you said you were having audio issues, I paused to just be cognizant of it when I played my own game, and that was the only thing I noticed. I was like, wow, that guy is a little louder than me, and maybe that's what Matt's hearing, but I still felt I could hear my guy no problem.
Yeah.
Maniac says Witcher 3 was kind of janky too, but mostly game glitches, and they work to get it smooth. I see the same with Cyberpunk. Yes, yes, yes. Without a doubt, 100%. They're not going to leave they're not going to abandon their fans. I think they're committed for the long haul with this game, and they'll keep iterating on it, iterating over and over and over again for a long time. What are your thoughts on the world, the environment, Night City, and just overall?
Immersive.
Big,
huge.
Do the cars, like, what's going on with these hubcaps in some of these cars? Is that bothering you?
Some of the cars look like they're from like the 1970s, man. Souped up 1970 old Cadillacs and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, the cars don't bother me. They don't seem as futuristic as what I thought they would, because like I said, they got that 1970s vintage look to it, feel to it.
Some of them, when you open the doors up, they do.
Yeah, when you get inside and that, yeah. Now, driving them is a whole nother world. Holy cow. You talking about some non-responsive vehicles. Holy moly. And I wish they did like GTA or something like that, where when you're driving, the faster you go, the more your mini-map spread out, because it stays focused in. And when a turn comes up, bam, it's right there, and you got to fucking turn without any warning or anything like that. It's like, fuck. So it'd be nice if it spread out to kind of show you a bigger picture. And then as you slow down, it kind of got in and showed you where to go a little bit easier.
I want to phrase this next question in a way that's not spoilery. I don't think it is. It's just a thing that happens, and there's really no, like, the town that you're in, you really can't get out of. And is that because that's DLC coming at some point, or is that because you got to go further in certain missions at a certain point, and then it opens up?
Are you talking about like the lockdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about that myself.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know
Yeah. So I says it's on lockdown. Yeah, and I don't want to get into the point too much for spoilers, but that just happens very early on in the game. You don't even do anything; it just happens. It has no effect on you except there's some missions that you can't do.
You can't do it, right, because you're in lockdown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this 2077, so it's not that far away from where we are now. What, 57 years from now? You think they're going to tell us at all what happened, why it's like this?
There is, as you go around the game, you pick up, those shards.
Yep.
Okay. And if you go in your inventory and you look at your journal, and there's some backstory to some stuff in some of that. If you go through and read some of that, there's a little bit of backstory going on. But you raise a valid point, because I started Nomad, okay, and when you get into there's that part, I'm not sure if you did, where there's like a fast forward section, where there's like a montage of scenes and shit, okay, that happens. Then all of a sudden it's like 1 year later, and you're in town. It's like, okay, but there's no like story. I'm very early in the game, all right?
Right.
But there's like no story really for me yet. I'm not sure if that's because of the character I picked or what.
How much of the story have you done?
I'm not sure if it's the same for everybody, but I just get done visiting a chick in a bar, and we went through and we did this thing called the brain dance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the same for everybody. I went way too far with the story, and I'm disappointed. So now I'm just cleaning up. I'm just going the map, and I'm doing all sorts of, all the baseball bats I'm going to, and all the the police stuff.
Yeah.
But I got way too far in the story, and I was like, geez, this feels like it's already like almost ending on me.
I doubt it.
Well, it said 20% when you come out, when you look at your inventory, but I was like, God damn, I just did a lot of story stuff. And I did this one mission. You know how sometimes they tell you, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because like this next mission's going to be like, 3 hours long. I wish they gave me a fucking head no, I wouldn't have done this if I known this was a 3-hour mission and it was pushing me way the fuck along in the story.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a takeaway for people listening. We want to be very non-spoilery here.
Correct.
Do the side stuff. like build up your street cred or whatever is it street cred for you or nomad cred or I'm a street kid?
No, street cred. It says street cred for me too.
All right. Yeah, so I think you're a nomad. I'm a street kid. I think I might be corpo. So it'd be good at some point to commiserate.
Now, have you noticed there's a couple times during some of the missions, or when I'm talking to some people, where an option will come up and it'll say nomad, and there'll be an option of text there to say. So do you get that with your street cred? And
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I started, I didn't have anything like you where you were out in like the desert and stuff like that. I was the streets. I was like right in town when my shit was popping off.
Just for like real life, Mike.
Yeah, I was riding the subway in Boston as a little kid. So this is my greatest memories. Saving up a couple bucks to get on the train and go in town, buy some records as a little kid all by myself.
Yeah.
When I say little kid, I mean I was like, high school age.
20.
Oh, so I's a street kid as well. Corpo's going to be the next run.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's see where else we are here. We were talking about world and environment. I'd say for me, I'm happy the way things look. Both of us are coming in here very blind to the game. I didn't know it was going to have such an Asian influence. I wasn't prepared for that. Everything has this, Asian touch to it. Would you agree or not?
Yes, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One thing that persists through my whole playthrough is I can't wait for next gen upgrade. I can't wait for the next gen update. Because I think things look good now, but I want it to look like I sees on PC, and I wish that update was live. I wish they could have. I wish they could have done something to get that out at launch. With all the delays they had, I wish that just could have been like a surprise. You don't have to wait till next year, and it's out now. Maybe that gets pushed up, or maybe that introduces more bugs than they want, and they're going to just wait until it's absolutely right. But I do play this game with a lot of regrets. The more and more I play it, I'm okay. But I just in the very early stages, I'm like, man, I should maybe stop and just wait for the update. Because I think to get to the world and environment, I think it looks cool, but I think it could look so much cooler. If I put in Ghost of Tsushima, and then I went to this, there's no comparison. You know what I mean? This does not look as good as that other game. And I'm waiting for that update to come out where things really pop. And
have you turned the film grain off and everything on yours? Yeah, because that made a big difference with me turning that off, for it to make the game look clearer and look better.
Yeah, Bibbs, I have not seen Doc in the game yet.
I think with all the hype this game got, and being on next gen and everything, I think that's a little bit disappointing as far as, in a way, how it looks. I mean, I think it still looks great. It still looks beautiful. I mean, I can't believe we're complaining about a game like this but there could be better graphics and better look on this game for all the delays, everything went on for everything that they talked about this game.
I do think something that's going to the update's going to fix a lot of that, but I think, what they're talking about in chat right now is going between in their next run playing as Corpo and Nomad. So let's say we finish this game, and who knows? We're not the type to play over and over again, so this might not be the truth for us, but let's say we wrap this up before the next gen update comes out. And maybe that's not possible for you. You haven't finished The Witcher 3 yet, so maybe you won't finish this either. I don't know. But let's say we do finish it before the next gen update. But we don't want to replay it again. Well, you could replay it with a different angle, right? You could now, the next gen update is out. Wow, I really like that. I want to see it on next gen. So now I'll try to play as a street kid, or maybe I'll say, I'll play as a Corpo or something.
Yeah, I think just like Witcher 3, they made all these updates to that. They've improved the quality of life, in that game. Just like Borderlands did some stuff there, and I think there's the same thing could happen with this game here. There could be some quality of life things that they upgrade. There can be obviously the graphic updates and that, but I don't see any updates as far as story and stuff going. So if you want to play it again as a different character, then go through it and you can make different decisions and do different things. This is a very wide open game. And I don't think this is a game that's going to be meant to rush through and play. You got to take your time, look at stuff, read things, you know.
I might not do any story stuff until the update comes out. I might just like level up, keep leveling up my guy doing. I could easily see how this game could be around 175, 200 hours. Just
easily.
Just trying to do all the stuff on the map. That's not story. That's not main story.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't know if we want to get into it, but like, you know, if you go into your character creation, all that, how deep that is between the cyberware, between the different points you can put in different things in that. This is a very deep, very immersive game. There is a lot there. You can really customize your character to how you want to play. This is, you know, a role-playing game for sure. Where you can also choose.
I think you can also play it the opposite, like either way you want. Like you're saying, you can get very deep in the game, right, and be very immersive. I also think 100% you can just go to this game, run and gun, and just do story and be done in 12 to 18 hours.
If that's what you would do, that's fine, but I think you're missing the whole purpose of the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're missing the whole purpose of the world that you're in and everything that the game's trying to offer you. I think you're missing out on a lot. Hey, you can certainly go and do that, but I think that's a mistake.
Yep.
You know, and I think those are the people that are like, well, this game sucked. This was a horrible game. It was only 12 hours long. Well, come on, bullshit. You know, this,
I don't know how long it would take you to mainline the whole thing and just do that.
Yeah,
I'm hearing anywhere between 20 and 40 hours, maybe just doing side missions and main story. But I think if you do all the side stuff, this could easily be a 200 hour game.
Yeah, Iron Hell just says I was 20 hours in before I got to the title screen.
Yeah, I was a little bit shorter than that because I did that fucking stupid mission, man. So I'm not even knowing where you guys are talking about to be that far and what's happening there. Yeah. So I mean, after that, I don't know. Don't answer this if it's going, but like after that title screen, does it like open up even more or something? It didn't feel like it, but just more like I didn't take a screenshot, so I can't say exactly. It just felt like it looked the same to me, but there's just more going on as far as the main story and things that happen in that nature. I don't want to get any more involved in that. Sure. Let's talk about the characters that you meet along the way. Do you like them, not like them? I mean, again, we're going to try to keep it loose and free here, not get into spoilery. But just whether it's when I say characters, I don't necessarily mean the characters that you play with in like the main part of the story, but like the NPCs and the gangs and just characters on the street. You know, how do you feel about like those? I think some of them are, you know, pretty entertaining, pretty funny to look at. It's funny, it's weird walking down the street and you'll see one guy dressed in like a gold tracksuit, and then you see someone in this just like underwear and a freaking cowboy vest on. It's like, what the hell? And here comes the jankiness of the game sometimes again, where I'm standing somewhere, I look, and there's a guy in a leopard skin type of furry jacket with blue jeans, white sneakers, and I turn around, and there's the exact same looking guy. Exact clothes, exact face, exact hair, everything. There's two of them right in the same area. It's like, okay, that's, yeah, come on. You never heard of the Pimp Twins? Well, apparently it's something in this game. Yeah. Do you feel that there's like too much like hustle and bustle going on? I know it's a fine line. Like you play some of these types of games and you feel like the cities are dead, right? And then do you feel like there's just too much going on though? Do you feel like it's a little too forced or no? Like could they dial it back a little bit? Like where are all these fucking people going? And why did like half of them fucking appear like strung out? Like they're just like they've been just like doing meth for like a fucking month straight, and they're just about ready to keel over at any particular destitute. So many destitute people. It seems like. Does that does that part of the story get back filled in? I think there's a reason why, like, a lot of these, is it just because the corporations have taken over and the haves and the have-nots, and there's just people that are just fucking strung out?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. You know, I mean, you'll be walking down the street and they're just moping along. What the fuck? You know?
There's like a lot of like guys like carrying like women around and shit, like, you know, like Amo, like, you know, holding her and shit like that. I'm like,
yeah, a lot of people puking. A lot of people puking too. It seems like.
I caught a couple dumpster divers today.
Did you? I ran into some guy taking a piss. He was pissing on a garbage can. All right, he took his dong out, and it looked like milk coming out for one thing. Okay, so he's certain pissing. Then you can see him
eye
zip
level
up
here, Matt. You're not supposed to, you know, when you're at the urinal, eye level. Why are you dipping down?
So he zipped up.
Did you tap at the same time? How many taps?
There's still piss coming out as he's walking away. There's still a stream of piss coming out of his pants as he's walking away.
Did you give some toe taps too while you were next to him?
I tried. It didn't work. He just walked away. What the fuck you want? And then, that whole thing, he was creepy while I was doing it because he's like staring at me. He's like staring at me. Of course, I was watching him pee, but yeah, he's staring at me. I was like, what the fuck? And then there's a problem. I don't know if you've experienced this, but like if there's a battle or a fight, everyone's like cowering.
Yes.
For like in like a 2-mile radius.
Yeah. They need to fix that.
Because
it takes you out of the immersion, right? I understand like the people that are like the innocents that are in like the immediate like harm's way, but why am I 3 blocks over and people are ducked down?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and scared and stuff. It's like, what the hell? What happened? What's going on here?
Yeah, they'll tweak that shit in the back end, you know. But now you said on Discord that you were getting into a lot of fights. I assume that you're running into like other gang members and you're getting too close to them and shit like that.
Yeah, I found out. That's what I found. I guess it's you guys said the people with the yellow like triangle bar above their head type of thing. That I guess are thugs.
Yeah,
it's what it says. Some of them are wanted in that, and you can go through. And if you get too close, they stop and they stare at you, and then that bar builds up, and all of a sudden it turns red, and they're like, "Fuck yeah." They're like, get the fuck out of here. They start beating you. I said, well, I was just fucking walking down the street, man. And now I realized what was going on, so I can more defend myself and protect myself from them. And then you got to be careful, too, sometimes when you're in battle or combat, especially using a gun, that you don't shoot an innocent person. Because next thing, the fucking cops are on you like stink on shit, man. And or you accidentally. Oh my gosh, I've had me a couple times. And also, if you're helping the cops,
I got one warning. Actually, I got one warning. The game warned me and said, "Hey, listen, you just hit an innocent. Next time you do this, you're gonna trigger, a bounty."
Yeah, I did that. I got that warning, and then like an hour later, I fucking did. Like, oh fuck, And the cops, man, they're hard to get rid of. So you just gotta be careful, even when you're helping the cops. Be careful when you have a gun, because gun aiming, holy cow! I don't know if it improves you in the game with perks or something like that, but it's like, you're all over the damn place. I tend to use my katana more than anything else to hit people, especially in close combat.
I got this fucking sniper rifle that's 1 shot, 1 kill. It's fucking
perfect.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
I would love to get me something like that.
I want to talk about the hacking here, and again, we're going to try to do our best not to be spoilery here. I'm wanting more from it, and I don't know if I'm talking about like maybe playing Just Cause too much. I want to be able to do shit to people with the hacking. Like I know that I can hack them, and I can make them short circuit, and I can make their synapse burn out. But what I'm looking to do, and you guys are going to tell me, oh, yeah, you can do this, and this is how you do it, and then I'm going to hang up the podcast and go do it immediately because I want to do it so badly. But what I want to do is I want to be able to chain react things. I want to be able to ping, like, all the things together and then press, like, a master, like, blow shit up button. So everybody gets, like, shocked and, like, the things, like, everything starts flashing and all the money machines start spitting shit out. I just want to cause, like, mass havoc by pinging everything together and then setting off a chain of events.
I'm sure Jay will say something in chat here, Iron Hell. But I do believe that as you gain more perks and you upgrade your software and you get different perks and different mods for your cyberware, that you will be able to do that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a pretty beefy OS right now. I have a rare one that's got like 6 slots or something like that, 6 mod slots.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of cash in this game, and I did something to get rid of a lot of cash. I want to be very loose with that, and then I replenished all my funds to get my money back, and then I bought myself an OS. But yeah, I'm just really looking, because for right now, what I'm running into, like, what is the purpose of me hacking all these things? Is it to like, will I build up like stealth credit? Is that why? And the purpose? Because I can tell you, I feel the game is very fucking easy. I could walk into those gang things and go boom, 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 you're all fucking dead. Pick up their shit, throw them in the dumpster, and walk on with my life. I don't feel like I'm getting any benefit except unless I'm building up XP for certain perks along the way. Is that the incentive to keep doing that? Because I can build up my street cred just as easily, killing everybody with my sniper rifle and then moving on to the next fucking group of thugs.
I pretty much think that's it. You're gaining XP, you're gaining different street cred and all that stuff.
I've had to check to see what setting I have my game on. I have it on normal.
I got mine on normal. I'm playing on normal,
and I'm I am not dying now that I have a lot of street cred and I got a different OS. I mean, I'm just walking up to dudes. They're like shooting me, like saying all this shit, and I'm like, yeah. All right, you're dead. Next. You're dead. I'm like, I mean, I could sit here and hack all this shit, but I could also kill you all and get all your shit, sell it, and build up my street cred too.
So you're not playing the game stealthy at all. So I'm doing stealthy.
I try. I make my best effort, and inevitably what happens is I trip something and they start coming after me, and I'm like, all right. But you're trying to play it as stealth as possible.
I'm trying to do stealthy. Yeah, I'm trying to get up behind people, sneak up, and break their necks and that. And let's back up to a minute. The hacking.
Yeah.
Hacking those terminals, that little mini game.
Yes.
What a fucking learning curve that was to try and figure that shit out.
Well, let me tell you something here. The bigger, the better OS you get, it shows you the path for like a quick second. It shows you like where you need to go.
Oh yeah.
If you can memorize that within it like flashes on the screen like in an instant. But if you can memorize that, then you're good to go. But yeah, it is a learning curve for sure. The breaching.
Big learning curve there to do that. And just a little hint out there for people: try and go for the big one at the bottom, level 3, because more times than likely, if you do that one there, as you're doing that one, you'll end up doing the other ones also.
No, well, you want to try to chain them so like one ends and then it starts the other one. You know what I mean? So if it's like ICBD, then the bottom one starts with BD. You can do the ICBD, so then you got like one right, and you're starting the other one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you do the last one, you end up kind of getting the other ones in line also, and getting those as you're doing that one. That's been my experience.
Yeah. I asked me, what have you put your attribute points into? Mostly I've been putting them into, I think, like intelligence and technology. I'm not sure if that's the right names for all those. In the beginning, I always do body because I want my health to be as healthy as possible. So that
you saw that body, that screenshot you have of your body. So yeah, I can see where you're putting all your points in body.
But lately in technology and intelligence, so I have my backpack's up to like 312. That's the amount of stuff that I can carry right now. I have 100% when I jack in to those things and do that mini game. I have it set to 100% of getting the maximum amount of funds and components and shit like that. So I have that all the way like up. But mostly, intelligence and technology.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm only like level 5.
I think I want to say I'm level 10, street cred 17. So 10 and 17 is where I'm at right now.
I don't know what my street cred's at, but I know I'm level 5. This is a very, at least for me, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but for me, it's a very slow leveling system. You know,
It
maybe I'm
seems like-
doing something wrong, but
But it seems like you got to do
it's
your
slow.
you got to do your main quest and side missions and thing to build up your character level quicker, but your street cred will go up, exponentially quicker the more just those baseball bat, police, assaults and progress type stuff.
Yeah.
What else do we want to get into here? Very loose story. I feel like it's a typical video game story. I don't feel anything is like really bad or really great. It just feels like a video game to me. I think they've gotten fast and loose and free in some areas, that they've taken some sort of exceptions with things. I think some other things are really good and really detailed. They've definitely taken some liberties along the way, but I think they've also had a lot of good details too. So I'd say overall it's typical video game shit. I'm not, super impressed. I'm not super disappointed with the story.
I think my biggest issue with the story right now is I'm not sure why I'm fighting the corporate and why I'm doing all this. There's no reason. I don't have enough, backstory yet. Maybe it's because I'm still very early in or something. So, okay, why am I doing this? Why do I care?
Well, I think you're trying to move up in the world of thuggery, right? You want to become,
I
you want to
guess.
become big time, right? You want to retire. You want to get all this cash. You're looking for your big payday to move up in the world.
As far as my character goes, I haven't felt that yet. As far as my guy goes, maybe the street guy does or the corporate guy does, but as far as Nomad so far, I'm like, not sure.
Fat Hamster Hun says, my girlfriend dumped me, so I stole her wheelchair. Guess who came crawling back? Welcome, Fat Hamster
Alrighty.
Hun. Thanks for the follow.
Thank you, sir.
Matt's
Great.
new friend, Fat Hamster Hun.
Great story.
Is this Carol's side name? Is this her alter ego?
I hope not. I hope she's not listening to the show today.
Why? She might be into Cyberpunk. You never know. So yeah, you haven't done too much of the story yet. So
Yeah. So I'm the story's I'm having a hard time getting engaged in the story right now.
But we gotta move on to some other shit. But let's talk about overall impressions, Matt. I think if you said to me, if you had me do the podcast on Thursday, Friday, or early Saturday, I might have had a much, much different impression than I sit here on Sunday night. Early on, I think like Eric felt was how I felt. You texted me during the day on Thursday or Friday and saying, "What's your thoughts?" And I said, "Meh, very meh."
Yep.
But the more I got into it, figured out the hacking, figured out my character, got into the combat, I'm really liking it. If I had to give a number on it right now, Mike, I give it somewhere like a low 80s, 82, 85, somewhere in that. But I think it's got a potential to be in the 90s for sure. And I think those updates will come over time. And I just think for people listening, you're going to have to make the decision. Can you stick it out with a B+, A- type game, or do you wait for a solid A+? It really depends on what you got in your backlog, where you are in your games right now. If you're gonna jump in at this particular time, it's gonna be a little rough around the edges on console. Your mileage will vary. On PC, Stadia, I think you're in a good spot. But if you're playing on an Xbox One and a PS4, good luck to you. I'm not sure if that's ever going to turn around for you. But I'm liking it. It's my type of game, Matt. These open world games are really my jam, where I can sort of hone in on a particular aspect of the game that I want to drill on for a long time. Like right now, I'm just cleaning up the world of all like the side, not even the side missions anymore. Just those baseball bats, the assaults in progress, the murders, the cop stuff. That's all I'm doing right now. The blue things on the map.
Yep.
And I feel like I don't want to be like like work related. Like I'm just trying to knock out a project. But that's what it feels like I'm doing. I'm going in and I got a set goal of what I want to do, and I just keep doing that. And maybe that's just the way my brain works, but that's how I like my gaming of late. I did that with Tsushima. I just focused in on certain stuff I wanted to do for a long time. I did that with Spider-Man and Miles Morales. I just did the collectibles. So,
Yeah, I agree with pretty much most you say. I think people got to realize this isn't a fast game. This is a slow game. This game, like Jay says, has a high learning curve to it. They don't handhold you as far as this whole set up your character and stuff like that. I mean, there's tips and stuff around as far as, the world, but as far as like managing your inventory and upgrades and all that stuff there's a lot of shit there.
Yeah, if you play The Witcher 3 or any type of game like that, you're going to be used to that. And yeah, you can get easily frustrated and go, wow, this isn't for me. I'm moving on to something else. I think if you hang in there and you give it a couple hours, you give it a day or so, you're gonna come out of it a lot better. I think I just said in chat, I need some quality of life changes with inventory management cleanup. 100%. Do I always have to go into the menus to get to the map? Is there a quick map button? Have I not found that yet, or do I always have to press this? For us on consoles, we have to press the options button and then go into the map. On PC, I'm not sure if there's a hotkey that you can just map it to.
Now, Mike, usually when I hit the options button, my I don't know what you want to call it, my square, my selecting thing, is right there on map. So I just gotta hit it again. And map comes up.
Mine's always like way up in the corner.
Yeah, mine. When I hit that, it's boom right there on map. So I hit it again, my map pops up right away. So
yeah. Sometimes I press the options button and nothing happens. I have to press it twice.
That happened to me with the save. Save a lot in this game, by the way.
Yeah.
Save a whole lot.
Yeah, I have a save pre that 3-hour story mission I was talking about, and I have a post. I have I could go back, but I don't know. I've done so much since then that I don't really see myself going back. But if I wanted to go back and not go down that path of having done the story, I could do that. But yeah, save a lot. Even though, on Xbox it saves for you and shit like that, it's always good to have a manual save.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what are you feeling overall? Like, you giving it a 2 thumbs up, a thumb and a half up, and a thumb and a half down? Or, you still going to play it? Do you see yourself sticking with it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like you, the more I've played it now, especially this morning, Iron Hell had a nice little chat on Discord. He was kind of giving me little hints and tips as far as inventory and, how the upgrade system and everything worked in that, which, I was kind of figuring out, but I just, you got to take your time and look and see what path you want to go in this game. And now that I get the audio figured out, that's really made it better for me. Now that works better.
Do you have the pack mule set up? What's the maximum you can hold right now in your backpack?
I want to say
260.
Yeah, 260 maybe. Maybe it's 260, 280. I don't know why 280 comes to mind, but yeah, maybe it's probably 260.
Yeah, I'm up to 312. Can you go beyond 312? I haven't seen that yet, but I'm up to 312.
I put 1 point into it today, so I think that put me at 260, whatever. But
yeah.
And then I'm focusing on intelligence and technical, that stealth side to it. I'm putting points in my body, for more health. But I'm focusing more on the hacking and the stealthing, because I think that's what the game is, being future and stuff like that. I think overall, I would give it a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, somewhere in that range right now. The game, for being in development for so long and having the issues as it came out, I think that's detrimental to it. I mean, it's like, really? You had all this time, to do all this and make all this work, and there's still all these glitches and jankiness happening.
Do you feel like at some point they needed to either shit or get off the pot? Like, they need, at some point in the development, they said, you know what, we're being too ambitious. Do you feel like it's trying to be a lot of games all in one? And maybe they needed to say, all right, yeah, I'm about to go to a house remodeling project, right? We're going to try to make our kitchen front to back. I'm going to take out the in-law kitchen and put all new windows in and shit, so a nice, reading room, And my wife and I are having discussions Are we just going to go, she wants like these 3 windows, like, it's sort of the room comes like an L shape, and she wants 3 windows here and 3 windows there. Now, is it just going to be 3 windows that you can get from like, Anderson windows, or are these going to be like custom windows where it's just a big pane of glass? You know what I mean? These are decisions that we have to make along in the project, like what's realistic and what's dream. And the same thing when they were developing this game, like at some point did someone said, you guys are trying to be a little too ambitious here. You got to do what you can do well, and the other shit maybe you can add on or do in your next game or whatever. Do you feel like they've tried to smash too many elements into one game?
I don't see that, because there's no, if they did that, then there would have been like the barber shops and shit like that where you can go in, you can change your hair, go to the barber shop and do that. Or there have been, restaurants, you go into restaurants and eat food and all that shit. But I think as far as how deep they made your character creation, hell yeah, man, they went all out on that, man. There's some shit there. This is for people who want to customize their character the way they want them. This is the game for you, man.
But what about the crafting? Let's talk about, like, at this particular stage of where I am, why do I need a craft? I'm getting so many different guns. They come so fast and furious to me. Why would I ever craft a gun at this particular point? Because I'm just going to pick up something that's better. Like maybe the crafting was something that they got waylaid by, and they could have like not done. They could have just said, all right, you got these guns with mod slots, and you're going to pick up mods, and you can switch out your mods. Why do I need to craft shit? Like, have you crafted anything yet? Have you found any sort of like need to craft? Because I'm just picking up guns. Like early on in the game, my gun could be like somewhere between like 50 and 60. 7 hours later, I'm now picking up guns that are like 148. Like, if I crafted a gun early on, it would be utterly useless to me compared to where, the gun I have now.
There's a pistol I have that I like, this pistol, and I've upgraded it for better DPS and that. So I have done that just because I like the way this pistol, I like the way it feels. Does pretty good damage. It's easy to aim. So, yeah, I have done that, but I see your point though, because you're picking up stuff all the time, legendary stuff, blue stuff, whatever. I guess if you get something you like, then yeah.
I says the perks in the crafting tree gives you higher powered weapons, armor, and mods than when you get dropped. Yeah, that's all fine and well if I'm feeling like I'm running into situations that I can't get out of and I need more power, like overpowered shit. And maybe I'm playing it. Maybe I should be playing on hard to take some benefit of that, but I find no reason whatsoever to craft shit, because I'm just going to pick up shit that's going to be more powerful. And I can tell you honestly, I'm not having any hard time with any of these, gangs and anything like that. Now maybe I'm going to run into a boss at some point that's going to give me a hard time. I haven't encountered any bosses yet that I know of. So
I haven't really.
Anything else you want to touch upon Cyberpunk before we move on?
Go into the game and enjoy it with an open mind. Don't be afraid to Google, tips for it to help you out.
I do that all the time.
Tits. Oh yeah, tits and ass. Just but don't. When it comes to this type of game, the decision I make as far as choices I make in the game. And that's like I fucked up, and when I first played, I actually shot a cop. I was like, "Fuck, I didn't mean to do that." Then I realized what was going on, so I went back, resaved. But have fun with the game. Make the character how you want to make it. Look at the perks and the trees and all that shit that you can do, and your cyberware and all that stuff. And it's very intimidating. Take your time with it. Get into it.
It's not a game, and I don't want to be like a prude. It's not a game you want to play around the kids.
No, it's not.
Like some of these games, like Call of Duty or whatever. It's just more advanced, like little green army men on a computer screen. There's minimal blood in those types of games, right? I feel in this game, there's no blood. Like well, there's blood. There's the robots' heads pop off and shit, but just the language and some language that's in the game. The sexual nature of the ads, the music, the N-word is in the music all the time. It's just definitely, if you got kids at home who occasionally walk into the room and watch you play games, this is not a game you want to be playing around the kids.
advertisements in the game are very sexual.
Yes.
Very. And there's a lot of, scantily clad women and men just walking around.
Yeah. It's a very sexually infused game for sure.
Yes.
All right, let's we're gonna have ongoing impressions, but that's very early stuff. And the glove box comes on next week. He'll dive in and we'll pick up the conversation again. Destiny 2 got the update this week. Well, not gonna have a lot of Destiny 2 here talk, but let's just talk about the upgrade. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Right? I mean, like that's
night and day. Night and day.
I mean, that's what I'm looking for with Cyberpunk. That fluidity, that 60 frames per second, And I know I's getting it right now, probably on the PC, but us console plebs, that's what I'm looking for. That next gen jump where you feel like, yeah, right.
Even my wife said something about it. Says, "Oh my God, this is really great looking."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the feedback been like from people? You got your pulse more on the finger of that. What have you heard from the community about this? Are they happy with the update?
Yeah, a lot of people are very, very happy on console, saying, "Wow, this is finally what PC players have been experiencing with this game," and it's so smooth. It is so smooth, and it looks so great. The detail is so much higher now. The frame rate, getting that 60 FPS, wow, is a huge, huge difference. And I hope that when we get the upgrade to Cyberpunk, we're going to have experienced the same thing.
No.
Big difference. Big difference.
They just rolled out the RTX, the ray tracing update for Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered. I tried them this week too. Fucking fantastic. And that's what I'm looking for with these next gen systems for Cyberpunk. Is I'm waiting for that. And I did end up getting Cyberpunk on the Xbox. I'm curious to see what it's like on the PS5, if there's any difference there. I ultimately went with the Xbox just because of running out of memory issues on the PS5 at the moment. But yeah, I'm really impressed with Destiny 2's update, and that's what I would have liked to seen with Cyberpunk right out of the gate for sure.
Yep.
And I tell you what, people that are listening, I think one thing I wish Cyberpunk had right away is cross progression, because I would stop playing on the Xbox and I would go buy another copy to play it on PC or Stadia. I would stop in my tracks and I would say, hey, at least if my save comes over, I'll drop another $60 and I'll buy it somewhere else where I can get the next gen update now.
Because you've got the computer that would be able to run it, right?
I mean, I got a computer. It's got a 1080 in it. It would certainly look better, I think, than the Xbox. I don't know. I mean, the Xbox is like what? What do they say? The Xbox is more like 2070 cards.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, 2070, 2080, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I could definitely run it on my monitors here. At the 120 hertz. My monitors are 1080p with the 144 hertz. I have Acer Predator monitors, so yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Drips in the news in just a minute here about that particular item. But overall, Destiny 2, one thing
huge update.
One thing is, I feel like the systems are more powerful than that game. I get a lot of black screens on that game right now, where I feel like the game can't keep up with the power of the system, and I feel like a cut scene is about to happen or just ended, and all of a sudden I got a black screen. It's tough to put into words, but it felt very abrupt at the end of the main story of the new expansion, the way it ended. The lady was talking or whatever, and then boom, black screen. I'm like, what's going on here?
Now I've noticed some things pop up faster, and the game can't keep up, and it's like, wait, what was it? What was that? And then it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep slugging away at that. You're the Destiny 2 guy. Me, I'm just I'm not really in it for the grind. I'm just in it to do the main story stuff and the quest. I'm not into the whole grind aspect like you are. But I'm curious to see how much of it falls off for you now that you're going to have Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
You're not a guy that's just got all this free time. You got a full-time job. You do like to spend time with Barb and putzing around in your garage. I assume I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt that nights you're not on. Maybe you're just asleep on the couch. Maybe you're in the same room. Maybe you're in the same room with each other, but you just fell asleep.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're not a guy that just that's gaming 24/7. So I'm curious to see how you devote your time now with gaming.
Well, it's going to be tough because they had, I think this coming week, the Dawning, which is a holiday event, starts up on Destiny. So I'll get to, bake cookies and stuff and deliver cookies around the galaxy. So, so that's coming up, but I do still have plenty of quests to do in Destiny and the grind to get up to level and do different things. It's going to be a interesting mix of gaming coming up.
All right. Let's just jump right into the news. We're running long here. We got 4 or 5 topics. Drips just mentioned this, that Sony has begun refunding unhappy Cyberpunk 2070 fans on the PlayStation 4.
And according to Kotaku, it's not just Sony; it's also Xbox, Microsoft, Steam is also.
So on Twitter, there's a Cyberbug 2077 hashtag. So this person on Reddit said, I had to file a support claim online and sit on hold for over an hour to speak with someone. However, they were quick to issue the refund and then delete the game off my library. The post alleged that Sony was issuing a business complaint to CD Projekt Red about the issues, but at this time there's been no confirmation of this claim. Person said, spent an hour on the phone after being denied by the chatbot, and I got my refund. Shout out to the user SirPanic12 for the advice on mentioning the game crashing and not being able to progress further. That's pretty much all I had to say. I mean, hey, I think it's very fair that if you're on an Xbox One, you're on an Xbox One S, even the One X, maybe. If you're on those first iterations, OG Xbox, OG PlayStation 4, and the game, just can't run for you and you're stuck and it's just faces are all like melted looking and it's just not fun for you and you can't do much, I think that's well within reason. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to ruin this, that are going to be like, you know what, I'm playing this on the Xbox Series X or I'm on the Xbox One X and, it just doesn't look like next gen, so I want my money and maybe I'll think about it later and buying it, I hope Sony and Microsoft just don't cave to those people. I hope they just say, you know what, we're seeing a lot of bad reports on the older systems and we'll give you money back, but if you're on a Series X, you knew what you were getting into and, go pound sand.
Yeah, I can see, yeah. Yep, I can see, last gen, PS4 and Xbox. But yeah, as far as PS5 and Series X and even people on Steam. Steam would be a tough one because, you would know and figure that you got to have a pretty powerful rig or something to play this.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be turning your settings down.
Yep. Your son, he got it on PS4 Pro, right? He didn't get it on his laptop, right?
Yeah, and he got a update Friday night.
Yeah, everybody got the update except Xbox. Xbox was yesterday.
And he said ever since then it's been playing a lot better for him. It's been better.
Cool. Moving on, PlayStation 5 has the biggest console launch month in U.S. history.
Nice. That is awesome.
The PlayStation 5 was November 2020's best-selling hardware platform in consumer spending, and it had the highest launch month unit in dollar sales for a video game hardware platform in U.S. history, breaking the previous record held by the PlayStation 4 in November 2013. As reported by the NPD Group, even though the PS5 broke those records, the Nintendo Switch was still the best-selling hardware platform in November 2020 in units sold, extending its streak to a record 24 consecutive months.
congrats to them. That is awesome.
Yeah. Not Assassin's Creed. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was November 2020's best-selling game and has already become the best-selling game of the year, beating out Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is the 13th consecutive year that a Call of Duty game has been the best-selling game of its launch month. In November 2007, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock surpassed Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That was the last time, 2007. Let's talk about the Game Awards, Matt. Did you watch the show?
I did. I watched along with Gathalion on Facebook. It was nice. You know, it was a little different this year with everything going on, but it was very good.
I'm going to show a few games here that I thought, caught my eye here. This first game is Crimson Desert. Play a little of this here on the screen as we talk about it. This is a, would you say, fantasy type? At first, I think I was gone for a little bit. I had to do some family Christmas stuff, and I came back. I thought this was going to be the new Skyrim when they started showing us. I was like, holy shit, this is the new Skyrim. But this Crimson Desert focuses on mercenaries coming out, I want to say 2021, but maybe 2022. Probably get delayed, imagine. But yeah, this looks next gen. This looks like, this looks pretty hot. It's coming out on PC and the consoles.
It's got a Skyrim, Assassin's Creed feel to it.
Yep, Witcher, Tsushima, So I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, this is a 5.5 minute. We're not going to watch it all, but it was a 5.5 minute video clip of this. I'm not familiar with the developer, Pearl Abyss. I've never heard of them before. I'm not sure if this is like a studio made up of industry veterans or if it's just a brand new studio of unknowns. But this is all gameplay that we're watching here. We're not watching anything like CG or cutscenes and shit. This is all stuff that you're playing in the game as.
It seems pretty smooth. It seems
So this
puzzle aspect to it and everything.
Yeah, fucking riding on a dragon at the end. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I mean, this. You know what this reminds me of a little bit? This reminds me of that demo. Remember a couple months back we had that demo of the Unreal Engine 5 that we showed?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This looks like a little bit of that type of shit going on here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that was one to keep my eye on, was this particular one. Next one, Back for Blood. Okay, this is by Turtle Rock Studios. These are the people that have created the first Left 4 Dead game. Okay, and Valve, for whatever reason, is not making another Left 4 Dead game, and so these guys, want to make a Left 4 Dead. They made Evolve in between the first Left 4 Dead and now that they were working on Evolve. But now they're making this game, Back for Blood, and it's coming out in alpha on PC in just a few weeks. And this is coming to PC and consoles as well. It's just the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, and we're watching gameplay here of it.
This is Left 4 Dead coming out of the room like that and shit. I mean, this is
So these are the guys that were created it. It's not someone just trying to capitalize off on that. This is what their roots are. So it looks pretty.
We'll have ourselves a new game night game here.
Yeah, there's some big fucking demons. Looks like it gets pretty intense, but like another game to keep an eye on. This one, caught my attention. Look how big this fucking monster is there.
Yeah. 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 Went down kind of easy, if you ask me.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, the alpha is coming out in just a week or two, I believe, and then it will go to closed beta or something like that. And then I think it's coming out June of this year. I want to say June 16th, June 21st.
This be a good game to pick up, play with friends, play with buds.
Now you're more into comic books than me. Are you familiar with the Evil Dead franchise at all?
Yeah, they got movies, TV show, and everything.
Yeah. So what is that about? High level, just like psycho horror type shit, or?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Campy type stuff.
Yeah, a lot of what do you call it?
Gratuitous
Cliches.
violence.
The horror cliches and everything in
Yeah.
it. It kind of covers everything.
So this is going to be a co-op horror game, survival horror maybe, I'm not sure. But this is the new Evil Dead.
Looks good.
Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. But I know nothing about the franchise. I was when I was watching it, I was like, "Is this another like Friday the 13th?"
Let's get that feel.
Dead by Daylight type shit going on. But people seem to be excited about this when I was watching my
Looks great though.
watching my Twitch stream. I imagine Jay, this guy here, says, "Got my boomstick."
Yeah, he's got his. Yeah, there he is. I see this getting a lot of traction. I see this being good. It looks incredible.
And then I don't want to play the video for it just in the time, but I thought the Callisto project, I think that's the game was, the next spiritual successor to Dead Space. Glenn Schofield, who used to be at Sledgehammer Games, was moving on and formed a new studio, and they're working on this game called the Callisto Project, and that's going to be the new spiritual successor to Dead Space. So check that one out. But right here, this is a little Mass Effect. They've confirmed it. I think we were talking this week with Chase about BioWare and Mass Effect, and this is how the Game Awards ended, is showing the next Mass Effect. And while we're watching this, BioWare, I think is an interesting spot. You know, I know they have a bunch of studios, at least 2, maybe 3. But if you keep track, they're working on Anthem, right? There's a small team working to retool Anthem at some point. During the Game Awards, they also showed Dragon Age 4. Earlier this year, they confirmed the Mass Effect trilogy getting remastered, right? And now we have this. So by my count, that's like 4 projects going on. And they are a studio that previously has released Anthem and has previously released Mass Effect Andromeda, right? What's the confidence level that they can do any of these 4 things well? Because the last couple of things they did were not great.
Well, I don't see anything happening with Anthem. With everything else, I think Anthem's going to go by the wayside or something here. Because I know they keep teasing it and keep talking about it, but there hasn't been much talk about it lately. So I see the focus being on this and Dragon Age. Definitely this, because this is, their huge thing right here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think Mass Effect is what we just watched is years and years away. I think that's at least got to. I think that's at least got to be 3-4 years, maybe 5 years away. That's just the way. I could be wrong. I think the way things will happen is Anthem will get an update. The trilogy comes out, Dragon Age, then Mass Effect. I think that's how it's supposed to work.
How much faith you got in the Anthem update in that?
I do have faith because I think anytime you can tell me if you're wrong, Matt, at work and projects that you've been on, too many people are in fucking working on it, right? And people got all these opinions, and the work gets spread out, and I think the way they're doing it is they're stripping away all that nonsense, and it's just a small team, maybe 12 to 25 people working on it, and I think maybe that way they can come to some clear decisions and do what's best for the game within their own means, rather than throwing 500 people at it, 500 ideas. No one's really taking the bull by the horns. Now, hey, you got to maybe temper your expectations, right? But I do think we will get a release, and it just might be, slightly better, setting the groundwork for an Anthem 2.
I think what screwed them is the fact it took so long, and then next gen came out, and now they got to probably do some shit for next gen, and that threw a wrench in the works for them.
Right, and maybe they'll give the free update. They're going to do all sorts of stuff to try to bring people back. There's no doubt about it. But there could be some hard discussions, like you mentioned, and I saying in chat, EA, the corporate overlords might just be at some point say, you know what, you guys gave it your college try, but we got to cut bait here. I mean, can you imagine a world where EA says, yes, let's devote more time to people working on Anthem, but we won't make a Dead Space 4? That just doesn't seem like...
That don't make... Yeah.
Like, we're going to keep paying people to work on Anthem, but yet we won't do Dead Space 4.
Yeah. As much as I liked the Anthem, I thought the gameplay and combat was great in that fucking game.
Right.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Anything else at the Game Awards that we saw that piqued your interest?
A couple of those indie games. I'm scrolling down to the one there. That Open Roads looked interesting.
Those are the people that made Gone Home.
Yeah.
You and Jeremy were big on Gone Home, right? Or was it just Jeremy?
I think just Jeremy was on that. But it looked good. That looked good. And then the Swedish Chef, cute little game.
Orgy Borgy Borg.
Burger. I think a lot of people like it. It's not my thing, but that Arc 2 with fucking Vin Diesel.
With Vin Diesel? I can't tell. Is he actually in the game, or is that just for the fucking thing?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like Arc is a very deep game. Like, is Arc 2 going to be more like Horizon Zero Dawn? I couldn't get a feel if like they were putting us on like.
That's what it seemed like.
Someone's throwing a lot of fucking money at that game. They're doing like an animated series. They're doing Arc 2. There was like a whole bunch of Arc news coming out there. I know they made a lot of money when that game first came out, and then they kept on doing updates. It was very popular. You know why, Matt, right?
I have servers because I play with friends.
Exactly. That's exactly what.
That dude was all over that game.
Yep, he was.
Lucky Phantasm was all over that shit.
Yep. And the only other thing I kind of caught my eye on, which we haven't played in a while, Fall Guys.
Yep.
They announced season 3. So.
We got to talk about what Xbox did. Perfect Dark. Do you know much about Perfect Dark? Did you play Perfect Dark on the N64? Perfect Dark Zero. So Xbox finally revealed their top studio, the Initiative. That's supposedly be their like AAA, quadruple A flagship studio, top of the line, and they're working on the next Perfect Dark game. They didn't give really like an announcement. It was all like CG, story arc type stuff. But that they finally revealed it. The mystery is out of what the Initiative is working on. Sometimes that's half the battle, just getting the name out there, and build up the hype that way. So now Xbox has got to I really hope they don't meddle with the Initiative and they just let them go off and build this fucking game. Because I think Phil has got a poor track record when he gets involved in some of these games. And I don't think they can afford to have their top tier studio do like a 12 to 15 hour narrative story game. I think this thing's got to be a meaty fucking game, And I hate to put dollars behind game length because I don't think they always correlate. But I do think if this is your flagship game, it's really got to be all out, balls out, and it can't be something you can digest in a weekend. It's got to be something meaty.
Yeah. Yeah. They look good. But I'm not familiar with the franchise or anything like that, but it's like, man, it don't look bad.
Yeah. 2 stories left. Quickly, the Game Award winners. Is there any shock to you? Last of Us Part 2 kicked ass and, took names. They pretty much won everything, right?
Yeah.
Hades won a couple things, like I said they would. Best action game, best indie game. Tsushima won best art direction. But yeah, Last of Us Part 2, just absolutely obliterated. It won, obviously they won Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Audio Design, Best Performance.
And I would just like to say, best dress went to that chick that was wearing it that night too. That nice looking, cute little brunette.
Oh, the girl from IGN, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were into that, huh?
I was a little smitten.
So yeah, I thought Jeff did a nice job with the Game Awards. So I mean, it's a hell of a thing to do any given year, but during the pandemic, doing all that shit remote was it was a good show. Check it. I think it's about 3 hours long though, right? It was a pretty.
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it started 7, went to 10 or something like that.
Yeah. And the last bit of news here is Halo Infinite is releasing. They've given a release window, and it's going to come out fall 2021. So it's almost being delayed by a year in a couple months. Now again,
tell you what, that game better fucking bring it.
I am worried about this game. Again, what I just talked about with the initiative. I am worried about this game because this guy, Joe Staten, who took over the direction, he's like now the creative director on the game. He went on to say, I believe in this article, that one of the first things he did in the first week or so that he was back is that he played through Halo Infinite twice over like a week span. All right, so you can play it twice in a week. That's not what I want, from Halo. Like,
it's kind of the wrong thing to say, ain't it?
Like, I mean, so what are you telling me? This game is like 8 to 12 hours long? Again, I don't want to say like games have to be 100 hours long because I spent $60 and need to get every bang I can for my dollar. Sure, if you do the math, I played a 12-hour game and I paid $60 for it. I got a hell of a deal in entertainment per hour, right? But I still think an open world Halo game, next gen, has to exceed all expectations of previous games and then deliver on it. It can't just be this, linear narrative thing that I can get done in like, ho-hum 8 to 12 hours, 15 hours.
Well, I think granted, this new Halo is supposed to see, big, massive open world thing. But I think like Call of Duty is 6-7 hour campaign. The main point of Call of Duty is the multiplayer.
Yeah,
and I think the same thing with Halo. The big thing is going to be the multiplayer.
I don't like Halo multiplayer. I don't like
it. It's so
dry, right?
Yeah, it's just.
It's not my jam at all. IAS, he's never really played any of them. I've played all the Halo campaigns. I had to go back and play a bunch of the older ones, but I think I've definitely played 4 or 5 Reach, and then all of them. I mean, I haven't done like the RTS type shit, but just the main story ones I played. I just think it's supposed to be open world ish. Set your own path, do things at your will. I really want to see them come out balls out and make a good game. If this guy tells me he can play it twice in the first week he's back, that's alluding to more what Matt said, that multiplayer is still king, and they're just going to give us a slightly better than run-of-the-mill campaign for the game.
Yep.
Yep. And the multiplayer is going to be free, and you're going to have to buy the game if you want to play the campaign.
I can see that.
I feel like we've given the children enough to listen to this week, Matt. We got we've given them a lot of Cyberpunk stuff to digest. Anything else you feel that we've missed that we need to discuss?
I think we covered all the bases tonight. We talked about the Destiny update, Cyberpunk. It's pretty much the real world shit going on right now. So,
yeah, I saw RoboPig today. He picked up the PC he was working on for my son, and we were just talking about real world stuff. And I was like, yeah, it just pushes me further into games, where I can play games where the shit's just gone to hell in the fake world, like Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I looked at this week. There's no new really releases. I don't think much is coming out between now and the end of the year, so nothing really to call out there. So we'll just continue playing Cyberpunk and give you guys more impressions over the next couple of weeks. Eric will be back next week, so he can let us know what he's thinking. But let's wrap this up, man. Any shout-outs, plugs, comments?
Everybody in chat. Yeah, everybody in chat, man. Thank you very much for coming in, interacting with us tonight. It's a lot of fun. Iron Hale, thank you for getting on earlier and talking through some Cyberpunk stuff, and that was very helpful. Would recommend anybody to do that.
We want to give out I's number. Has he got like a 24-hour hotline? If you're recommending that anybody do that,
I'm pretty sure it's 555-285-2255. Give that number a call. See what happens. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, and Santa Claus is coming soon, so everyone better be nice. Don't be naughty.
Yeah, it's too late. I'm gonna be naughty in about a half hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, shout outs. What is he saying here? 867-5309. Anybody? I'm not sure. No terrible topics tonight. I don't think we're already.
No.
It's already 11. We're already past Matt's bedtime. He's got to, he's got to get to bed.
The cat's waiting for me to go to bed.
Yeah. Do they sleep in bed with you or no?
No.
No. The door's shut. You don't let them in.
No, the door's open, but he sleeps. He's got a great big giant beanbag. He sleeps in upstairs. He's got a beanbag, great big old beanbag. He sleeps in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets all snuggly in that. Then the other cat sleeps in my youngest room on the lower bunk. The other cat sleeps in that.
Nice. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for showing up in chat. Jay, Maniac, I hope everything's okay at home. I've been following along on Facebook with your home improvement woes, so hopefully everything turns around there.
Good luck, man.
RoboPig, if you're in chat at all, thanks again for the PC work. I appreciate that. Thanks for all the subs and biddies and being here every week, just like everybody else. We really appreciate it. And this has been 144. Next week will be 145. Eric will be back, hopefully, and we'll hear from him. Until then, don't forget Christmas is coming up. Buy your favorite family and friends a gift.
Fuck that.
It's me, Santa Claus.
Goodbye.